Do you ever use an NDA when you sell a property to restrain a buyer from going around your deal? If so, what is some practical language that needs to be included in the NDA?
So NDA is a non-disclosure agreement. I use a non-circumvention agreement. I don't use it much. Usually the buildings are my own. So when I present them, somebody want to look, or I'm talking to people, and sometimes they say, okay, do you want me to sign a non-circumvention agreement or non-disclosure? I say, it doesn't matter to me because you can circumvent me. I am the owner. However, I remember specifically there was a location. It was a Senior Frog. Senior Frog had a location, it was very large. I heard through somebody who went to eat at the Senior Frog, they clicked because the Senior Frog owner was Mexican gentleman and the guy that was eating there was Mexican. They clicked. And this guy, I know him well. He told me, he said he's in trouble and he's trying to find a way to maybe sublease a part of his, because the store was so big, he doesn't need that much space. So I went to the owner of the Senior Frog and I said, I am interested to sublease that from you. And it was an amazing location. So I wrote an agreement with him that give me 30 days for what's called a free look. So I can do my assessment if I can do what I want. And I took it under contract for $5,000 a month, a very specific space that he was going to carve out from the gift shop before you enter the restaurant. And when I went to talk to jewelers to come into that space, every jeweler I called, I said, in that area, by the way, it was by the cruise ships. And you can do plenty of these deals like in Florida and the Caribbean, all these tourist locations. So every jeweler I said, I have an incredible location I want to show you, but I need you to sign this form. And it was, I made a very simple form, saying non-circumvention agreement. You will see the space, you'll not talk to anybody except me, and this is going to be our agreement, etc. And they would be like so excited. They'll be like, where? There is nothing by the cruise ships. There is nothing. That I said, I'm in control of a place. I'm going to open my own store, or you're going to come in and see it. So I brought in, they signed, and I kept bringing in these sub-tenants. You see, when you have a sublease and you sign with somebody else, you have a sub-tenant. And in my sublease agreement, the preliminary agreement I did with the Senior Frog owner, I wrote that I have the right to sublease. And he said, why? I don't understand how you're doing that. I said, you see, I may operate under a license of a jeweler or something like this, but they need to come and approve the location because he was going to see me coming in with people. So he said, I don't care. I just want my $5,000 a month. I said, okay. So as I brought people in and they looked around, that was when I signed a non-circumvention agreement. By the way, COVID hit right after. So thank God I had 30 days to bail out. So I just got out because the cruise ships, if you remember at that time, stopped completely. So I just told the guy, we're not going to proceed with this. And nobody was interested to do anything for several weeks. COVID was an absolute surprise for everybody. But thank God we survived it and prospered afterward because we had the liquidity and we had the cash reserves. And we had a lot of reserves with the banks. Okay, so do it if you're not the owner of the building and you're afraid somebody can bypass you. And if they don't want to sign it, something is wrong with them. Okay, that means something is fishy.